representing Driver Alliant Insurance Group, selling commercial insurance. The buyer is, she owns Sunset Bowl, it's a bowling alley in Oceanside, and we're selling an exclusive bowling insurance group. And this face-to-face meeting was actually, it's a follow-up on a telephone call where the seller determined that the buyer's current insurance policy is about to expire.
Good. Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Lewis. My name is Nick Vito. I'm with Driver Alliant Insurance Group.
Nice.
Looking forward to meeting you.
Nice to meet you, too. I've actually been looking forward to meeting you ever since our telephone conversation.
So have you received your renewal quote from your current insurance provider?
I actually have. Take a seat. It's right here.
Now, with this proposal I have right here, if I could offer you a better price than the one you're currently looking at, do you think you'd be of interest?
Yeah, of course I would.
Okay. Now I'm going to take some notes, and I'm going to go over this proposal with you.
Okay.
Who are you currently insured with?
Well, let's see. We have Lloyd's of London, who carries our liquor insurance, and Essex, who carries our property and liability.
So this involves two separate carriers.
Yes, it does.
Is there a specific reason why you have coverage for two separate carriers?
Well, yes. Essex actually doesn't offer liquor coverage, so that's why we have Lloyd's of London on our as one of our carriers as well.
Don't you believe it would be easier just to have one carrier for your coverage?
Yeah, actually, it would definitely make the payment process a whole lot easier.
Okay. And what about your crime insurance?
We've actually never carried crime insurance.
Really? Do you mind if I ask why?
No, it's just that we feel like we have that taken care of. We have a guard dog at night that stays there, and we have in-house security during the day and during busy business hours.
So it is safe to say that you are taking precautions towards your safety of bowling alley?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Okay. Now let's look over here. Now, do your employees currently have company vehicles that they run business errands with?
No, we actually don't have company vehicles. However, when we do have business errands that need to be run, we have employees use their personal auto.
Did you know that you could be held liable if one of your employees' private auto insurance burned through its liability in the case of an accident while running business errands?
I actually never really thought of that.
It's pretty scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Well, after looking at your supplemental application, I noticed that you recently installed a sprinkler system in the facilities.
Yes, we did. This is pretty new to us. We did it last year. With all the fires lately, we just felt that it would be a good move for us to do that.
That's great because, that provides you substantial discount on your premium.
Really? That's great.
Yeah, and did you ever think what might happen if your sprinklers break, like in the case of an earthquake?
Ooh, no, you know what? Like I said, we just installed them last year. They're pretty new, and I figured maybe wouldn't that be covered under our property insurance?
No, it wouldn't, but don't you think it would be nice to protect it in the case of this incident occurred?
Well, yeah, of course it would.
Okay. So it sounds like your main concerns are property, liability, and liquor insurance. Isn't that right?
Yes, our main concerns are that, we're compliant with the law, and that just in case of an incident, our property is fully covered. We've had all of these other brokers come to us and offer us this insurance and this coverage, but, as a bowling alley, we feel that we'd like to keep our insurance costs as low as we possibly can.
Okay, so if I can get you either apples-to-apples coverage at a better price than the quote from your current provider, or more complete coverage at the same price, do you think you'd be interested?
Well, of course I would. Please, continue.
Okay, what we're offering you is our Alliant Bowling Insurance Group. It's an exclusive bowling package that enables us to provide you with excellent coverage on property, liability, liquor, and crime at a discounted rate. In this program, we have two separate carriers, Fireman's Fund and Sequoia. They're both A-rated carriers, meaning that they're top-of-the-line providers, and they have more than enough money to cover any of their clients' claims. Okay,
so A-rated carriers, I'm still not understanding why that's so important.
Well, looking at your current carriers, they are both non-admitted B-rated carriers. This means there's a greater risk of your current carriers going bankrupt and not being able to pay their current clients' claims. And because our carriers are admitted A-rated carriers, they are covered here in the California Insurance Group Guarantee Association, which will pay any outstanding claims in the unforeseen event of a bankruptcy. Can you see how important this is to be covered by admitted A-rated carriers?
Yes, I do.
Okay, also, in addition to this program, we're able to provide you your insurance needs under one carrier, either Fireman's Fund or Sequoia. So wouldn't that be easier having one carrier that will save you money at the same time?
Definitely, no, like I said earlier, make the payment process a lot easier on us.
Okay. Now how about I go through some different coverages offered with our program?
Perfect.
Okay, first right here we have property coverage. The current market value for your facility is $950,000, which is what you'll fully be covered for.
Hold on one second. I'm a bit confused about that because, see, on my current policy right here, my building is valued at only $691,000, not the $950,000.
You know, I'm very glad you pointed that out because your current providers have you severely underinsured. The market value for rebuilding the property is $110 per square foot, and your current providers, Essex, has your building at $80 per square foot. You didn't know that.
Oh. Well, I'm a bit confused. I don't understand what this really all means.
Well, this means that in the event that something happens to your property, you will have to come up with an underinsured amount of money out of your own pocket. Under our property coverage, the full value of your property is covered, meaning that you won't have to worry about spending extra money.
Great.
Okay, and also, earlier in our conversation, you mentioned that you feel comfortable knowing your property was covered in the event of earthquake, right?
Yes.
Well, Wes Becker from Vantage Bowl felt the same way, and he found that his earthquake sprinkler insurance put his money at ease, so he was able to actually sleep at night.
Really? Wes Becker. How much does that stuff cost?
Well, EQSL insurance is only about $1,000 for the entire year. This will ensure that your property is covered in case your sprinkler break.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
Okay, good. Now let's take a look at your liability coverage. Under our liability, you will receive $1 million per occurrence and $2 million aggregate.
Okay, probably should know this, but the $2 million aggregate, what exactly does that mean?
Well, the $2 million aggregate is the amount of liability per year for total occurrences. So if you have 3 slip and falls that go over $2 million, you'll cover up to that.
Okay, well, because we do sell liquor and everything, we do have a lot of incidents that occur. What happens if I do go over that $2 million aggregate?
Well, we do offer additional coverage. It's called umbrella insurance, and we do it in increments of $1 million.
Okay, so that actually sounds really good, but how much does that run to add that onto the policy?
Well, $1 million umbrella coverage would cost about $1,500. Don't you find that reasonable?
Yes, that sounds reasonable. Especially because we've had so much bad luck in the past.
Yeah, I could tell. I mean, it's supplemental. All right, now let's talk about liquor coverage. Because liquor insurance is mandatory by the state, its rate is typically standard. However, because all of your coverage is with the same provider, we are able to get you this at a discounted rate. What do you think about that?
Perfect, even better.
Okay. Earlier, you mentioned that you were unaware of your insurance liabilities in the event that an employee was involved in an automobile accident while running business errands. Okay. We have additional coverage called hired non-owned auto liability insurance that would cover the amounts above the employee's personal auto insurance. So do you think that would be of any interest to you?
Well, probably not. Although we do have some employees running business errands, we don't have them run them that often, either me or my husband, the owner. We can run them on our own, and I just don't feel like that we need that right now.
We'll get back to that later. But I also just wanted one more thing to show you. In our proposal that our crime insurance, it covers $20,000 per incident and includes employee theft, burglary, forgery, alterations, and money and securities inside and outside.
Yeah, I just really don't feel like that we need crime insurance on our package.
But you did mention earlier that it was important that crime coverage was an important concern for you. You obviously have taken measures to protect your property by having in-house security and guard dogs.
Well, yes, we have, and we feel that those actions that we have taken are pretty much covering.
Okay, those are both good methods of providing security, but can I show you some advantages of having our crime insurance?
Sure, go right on ahead.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you who makes your nightly deposits at the bank?
Actually, we have the closing manager on staff at that time take them to the drop box at night.
And how much usually are these deposits?
Let's see, probably on weekend or weekdays, it'd probably be around $1,000. No more than $1,000. On weekends, we'd probably go up to $3,000.
Let me tell you why you definitely should consider having it. What if on one busy Friday night, your closing manager is making a trip to the bank, and all of a sudden it gets robbed? What are you going to do? How are you going to come up with the lost amount of money?
I guess I never thought of that. I guess we would just have to take the loss.
Okay, this coverage would only cost you about $1,200 a year with our package, and a loan would cover in that case of an incident. Isn't that a small price to pay for the peace of mind knowing that your money is always secured?
Yes, it is.
Okay, now let me show you how also you can maximize your money with our policy.
Okay.
Okay, look here. Your total annual premium for your previous carriers combined equals $32,021 for property, liability, and liquor coverage, right?
Okay, yeah.
Our proposal is only $32,875 and includes property, liability, liquor, and crime, in addition to hired non-owned auto, earthquake, sprinkler leakage insurance, as well as an additional $1 million umbrella option.
Really? So basically that, that includes everything on a previous policy with all those extras you mentioned, and it's about $800 more?
Right. Let me show you more over here. Let me give you an example of how much you would be saving by switching to us. Before I mentioned your property is currently underinsured. Essex has your property at $690,640, right?
Right, okay.
Which is on your 8,633 square foot property, which is insuring you $80 per square foot, and you need $110 per square foot. It's a market value. Are you following me?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now let's imagine tomorrow that your property burns down to the ground. Let's calculate the amount of money that would have to come out of your pocket to cover the underinsured portion.
Okay.
First, let's take the insured value of property, $690,640, and divide that by what your property actually would cost to rebuild.
Okay.
The current rebuilding cost is valued at $110 per square foot, which means that your property would cost $949,630 to rebuild. This number right here will then be multiplied by the total loss. See that?
Okay.
This amount minus the deductible is what you'll receive in coverage.
Okay.
Fully calculated, this equals $689,165.
Okay, I see that.
So by subtracting this number from your current rebuilding value shows that your personal loss would be $260,464. Can you see the value in this?
Yes, I definitely can.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, you're telling me.
All right then, Ms. Lewis. Let's review the major points on which we've agreed.
Okay.
First, I showed you how important it was having your property insured at full value, right here.
Okay, yep.
Then we came to the conclusion that $1 million umbrella option would benefit your company.
Yes, it definitely would.
Then we discussed the benefits of using our A-rated carriers instead of your non-admitted B-rated carriers.
Okay.
We then discussed the convenience of having all your business insurance needs under one discounted policy, not two.
Right.
We also agreed that earthquake, sprinkler leakage insurance would be a good coverage for your business to have.
Yes.
And lastly, Ms. Lewis, we agreed that your company would benefit from the additional protection of our crime coverage, making those 90 deposits and stuff. So, after seeing how your proposal can meet all of your company's insurance needs at a lower cost than your current provider, would you like to go ahead and write me that check now, or would you prefer to send it in to me later?
I actually have one more question for you. I am concerned about doing business with a privately held company like Driver Alliance, so I can't really get any information about your financial stability.
Well, right now we were ranked 14 nationally in 2005 by the Business Insurance Magazine, and we are industry-specific focused, meaning we know everything about our industries, and we've been in business for about 75 years. We're on 4th and Alliant downtown, and that's about it.
Okay.
So did you want to write me that check, or send it later?
You know what, let me grab my checkbook and I'll just pay now.